Hey, welcome back to Steel City Roundtable. Today is a pretty awesome day. This little bitch right here, this little nugget, was one of the originals.
I am. I was one of the originals. I was around for the first 10 episodes or something.
Yes, so why don't you introduce yourself to all the people that have no clue who you are?
Hi, everybody. I'm Kelly. I don't know which. There it is. Hi. I'm Kelly. I was around during the pilot episode and several episodes after that as well with Kenny. He is my BFF. Um, and I am here because on November 8th, I hit multiple years of sobriety. I hit 2 years of sobriety. So
I'm surprised.
he
I'm surprised. Well, not that you made it, it's not that you made it. It's that, we went our own way for, the same reason everybody goes their own way. You had things you wanted to do and things you had to accomplish, and I was going my way, you were going your way. So you went and decided to focus on you. And we didn't talk a whole lot for the last year and a half.
I know.
I mean, it's been about a year and a half because
Yeah,
you just started dating Ron.
about a
When
year
I,
ago.
yeah. So when I met you, so it's a year ago, or when I first talked to him. So you went and did your thing, and then I got that I think it was a message you sent me about 2 years. It was your black tag,
Yeah.
and I was like, holy fuck nuggets. Like, it's been that long. I was like, what the fuck is going on in this place? So, um, you know, this is kind of cool because, when we started this thing, for those of you who've been with us, I think YouTube, we just hit 209 subscribers.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's coming along slowly but surely. They've been there through the ride. We just did the special with the news, with Action News.
I saw that.
And,
That.
I think this is where I'm the dick. It makes me sad because we started this with Kenny, 2 years ago. And for those of you, once again, who is this your first time watching, Kenny was our BFF. He passed away June 1st of 2024 due to a motorcycle accident. So we started this thing together, and Kenny actually introduced me to Kelly, and we hit it off, and Kenny kind of went bye-bye for a while before he died.
Yeah.
Yeah, he kind of went on his own. He went on his own choo-choo train to nowhere land.
He did. And we're screaming, come back, come back. You have to come back. We have to stay
Dude,
together.
you ever have to like drag somebody to do something that they know they want to do? Like literally drag his feet to get him here,
Yeah.
even though you knew he wanted to do it, and he knew he wanted to do it.
Good time too once he was here.
Yeah, and so this is kind of an emotional day for me because we separated, and wherever we ended up, and then to have you back here, and it's to be like something that Kenny would have been very proud of you for, being 2 years sober. So we're gonna do this NAAA style. So Kelly, tell us, where were you? What was your life like? What did you do? And how is your life now? So tell us the story of Kelly.
Christ.
And once again, introduce yourself to everybody because I call you Turd Nugget.
Yes.
So you.
Kelly. I had a drug problem. Had a pretty bad drug problem for sorry.
I got your face. There you go.
uh so I mean it started off just like everybody else that I know, really, alcohol was easy to get a hold of. Smoke cigarettes with your friends. I can remember, you know, um, a friend's cousin teaching me how to smoke.
Well, let's go deeper. Let's go
Oh
deeper
God.
because you weren't in any mental condition to do this back in the day
No.
because you were freshly sober, just like I was, and we were both kind of stumbling through life. Childhood, like the whole story, how everything started for you, like from the first time you drank and then everything that happened after that. Because I don't even know that story.
So alcohol was always a thing in our house. If I got my dad a beer, he would let me take the first sip. You want a sip of my beer? Thought it was just so funny. 8, 9 years old, maybe even younger than that. But it was never more than a sip. I started smoking at like 11 or 12 cigarettes, which graduated right into weed,
I
everybody
mean,
was
that's the logical progression.
it's a
Go from
logical
cigarettes to weed.
right, and
Who
then
knew?
who knew? Yeah. But, like, smoking weed wasn't enough, it just, made me paranoid. That brick, dirt, weed shit, make everybody paranoid.
Her man's over in the corner going, "Yep, been there, done that."
Well, the kids nowadays don't know about that brick weed. They get the hydro now.
Listen, listen, you're talking weed, dude. I remember the smudge. It was just like the mud weed. It was like chocolate fudge with a little bit of grass in it, but
Yes.
it was like tar and just delicious.
What was really funny is we were just having a conversation about carpet weed the other day, where your dumbass friend knocks the entire bag of shake into the carpet and you sit there picking it out of the carpet to smoke it. It tastes like plastic and
Listen,
carcinogens.
my boy in college, he had a 6 foot graphics bong. It was called Chokang,
Oh, God.
as in like Mortal Kombat.
Nice.
Yeah. So we would, when I experimented with weed back in the day, we would just get blasted,
Yeah, you
like
did.
completely retarded.
Gravity bongs in the bathtub. I mean, gravity bongs in the bathtub. Use one of those, the one
Folks, this is for educational purposes only. We are not telling you to smoke weed, but this is just what two dumbasses did.
we got one of those, the interchangeable water dispensers, like,
So bleeping the fuck out of this part.
I seriously, and, oh my but yeah, so, like, it started off small, like everybody else does, and then, I hurt myself pretty bad. 8th grade? Yeah, it was a soccer accident. I know those deep soccer accidents, but really, the girl hooked her cleat into my shin guard because they was sticking out a little bit, and she literally, like, yoinked me and dragged me, and it hyperextended my knee. Really hurt me. And that was the first time they gave me pain pills. Yeah, and from there was, "Where can I get the pain pills? Where can I get more weed?" I lived in a house with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 other people. I slept on a couch, 7. There were 7 of us living in a house. All we did was drink our faces off, snort coke.
Oh, the drinking, you know, we know my story. We've talked
Mm.
about it a ton. So the drinking, do you think the drinking was a gateway for you? Or do you think that drinking was just something you did and the drugs came like it wasn't like I got drunk one day and decided to try this or, alcohol wasn't enough for me, so I decided to try Coke. Was it just for me it was a logical evolution to try things?
Um, I guess to answer that the best way I can is that drinking alcohol is gonna lower your inhibitions all the time. So
You don't
if I
have any
were
inhibitions to begin with.
I do actually. Much better now. Much better now.
But you know what I mean? Like, because for me, it was a mental health thing. I had bad mental health. So, and I didn't know it because I was 17.
Sure,
So the first time I drank, I felt amazing.
sure.
So, like, I wanted to stay that way.
So the coke and the pills always gave me a more sense of euphoria than drinking. Drinking always depressed me. Um, I never really had a problem. I don't want to say I had a problem drinking. I don't because giving up alcohol was easy. It was easy for me. Easy. Gone. I wasn't a big drinker. But when I was drinking to get shit faced, like on the floor, blackout, puking my guts out, shit faced. Like that's what I
See,
wanted.
that's crazy because I was able to quit the other stuff when I was messing around with that stuff. I could quit that like this,
Mhm.
but I could never quit the booze because it's everywhere and it's legal. And I never had to worry about whether or not I was going to get in trouble for having it.
Yeah, you know
You know?
what? That wasn't a concern of mine. I don't know why that wasn't, but I don't have a criminal record, so like
Neither
obviously
do I.
you should. It's like no,
No, I don't.
but but yeah, in high school, like I was a party girl with my friends. I was always looking for the next score. What you know. Dating the guys that I knew I had the drugs, or the older brother that could get them for us, or all of that. When I was 17 into 18 was when it was probably at its worst.
Well, let's talk about that. What happened when you're 17 or 18 that led you down the rabbit hole?
So I started working at Subway.
Oh, I fucking out. Did Jared diddle you?
That no, I met someone at Subway
This is getting
who
canceled.
was older. who was older, she was older, and we created a friendship. And I was very close to her. But let's be so for real. Her house was a flop house. That's where you went to get drugs. That's where you went to get drunk. And she was my BFF. That's who I moved in with. So before I even turned 18, I told my mom, I came home late once and she said, You're not going to live here and do that. I'm not going to wonder where you are. You're going to move out. I
Yeah.
was like, Fine, I'm moving out. And she said, Good, you can leave with what you have on your back. And I did. I wasn't even 18 yet. It was probably December of 2001, January of 2001, and I lived with her for a couple months. It was a couple months at that point, and then I met Cheyenne's father.
Okay. And if you want to, like, I know some about that. If you want to go into that, fine. If you don't want to go into that, fine. I think that's
That's when
left.
we talked about it.
I th-
Everybody got a little butthurt.
well, calling people out, it's not exactly the best thing to do, but you know, not not for nothing. Guy's a douche, treated her like shit, and
Yeah,
then some bad stuff happened.
yeah, cliff notes. Bad things happened, and there wasn't anything I could do about it. And just like every other person that dies, everybody in their life thinks that they're a saint, and they weren't. And I say that about Kenny too. Like Kenny was really one of the best dudes I know.
But he was a total psychopath.
Oh, he was an asshole, man. But I loved that about him. He was never an asshole to me, but he had the capability.
Side note about Kenny, like I'd nothing to do for 20 years, right? Like we didn't talk when I became a cop in 2007, we stopped talking. Not for any reason. Like I was this is how I met Kenny. We were all working at Fuhr's at the beer wholesaler here in Pittsburgh. They fucking it's like Hitler. They run the entire fucking state of Pennsylvania with beer. I think it's like 17 or 18 counties. They got warehouses everywhere. But I was a driver there, and my buddy Randy and my buddy Chad were drivers there, and Kenny started as a helper. So he would go with us in the truck, and we'd be like, "Hey, Malibu, go get that fucking beer." And we'd sit up there fucking with our chew in, talking on the phone. We'd have him running around, fucking moving the freight. And he learned how to drive there. But we always used to go to this place called the Down the Road Saloon. It's right behind the ice cream shop on what is that? Off of Carson Street
Oh,
as
I
you're
don't
going
know. I
out
don't.
towards Homestead. It's what's is that Betts
I
Run Road?
yeah, it's that's oh my god. Everybody goes there. Everybody goes there, and I
But
can't
but
think
it's
of it.
it's it's that barbecue joint right behind the ice cream shop now.
I know where you.
That
Okay, I know where you're
we
talking
used to
about.
go get blackout drunk.
Fair.
Like to the point where one day my phone wasn't working, so I just snapped it and threw it in my beer and fucking got another beer. But we used to pick on him nonstop.
Pages.
Pages. We used to tear him apart because he was this pretty boy, like 20 years old, 160 pounds soaking wet, you know, thought he was the man, but then he hung around with a bunch of older dudes and we just like would beat the shit out of him
Sure.
verbally, mentally, through booze. But, you know, once I became a cop in 2007, he stayed at Fuhr's and I went about my business and we just never talked again. It's just, life takes you in different directions and you forget about people because out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like you ignore people. They just don't pop into your head because they're not part of your active daily life.
Fair.
So I would actually run into Kenny every once in a while when I was working down in the South Side as a cop. He'd be delivering FedEx somewhere. I'd run into him and we'd talk. And then when I quit in 2019, I reached out to him and we reconnected.
Okay.
So our friendship grew from there. But, he was the biggest asshole. We would fight every day. He'd hang up on me. We wouldn't talk for like 2 days and he'd call me back and we'd be like, nothing happened.
See, he would call me from the shower. He'd be straight up in the shower. He'd have the camera in such a way that I couldn't see anything except his grody, hairy ass chest. But or his feet. I'd either be able to see this or his feet because he'd be in the bathtub, and I'm like, bro, dudes don't take baths. And then I think my favorite thing to tell him was he was going to get a yeast infection. He'd yell at me for like hours over that. Only girls get yeast infections, and that's not true, bro.
I mean, the whole thing is like you said, like I'm an asshole. Like I admit it 100%. Like if I died tomorrow, there would be nobody that knows me that goes like, "Oh my God, he was an angel." They'd be like, "He's such a dick."
But he was funny.
But he,
Loyal,
loyal,
funny,
loyal,
loyal.
loyal to a fault, narcissist,
Yeah.
cocky, you know, since the soberness came around, like, I've had to become very humble.
Sure.
Like, like, I've just realized how much of a fucking dick I was and am. But, you know, going back to your husband, like, or former husband, whatever you wanna call him. I mean, because he's not gonna come walking in the door. Um,
I hope
eh,
not. I
but,
hope not. Oh, I was gonna
you
say
know,
something really morbid.
so what's after we're what the fuck? Come on, camera, focus. We're always talking about Kenny. We always go back to Kenny when we're together. But so go back to your ex. Everybody thinks that they were like the best person.
Yeah, everybody that's the whole thing is like, a lot of people have a hard time, after somebody dies, accepting the fact that, they weren't the person that they thought they were. And for a long time, I let everybody really perceive, this person the way that they felt they needed to in order to heal. But, I mean, it's been, what, 17 years now? Almost 17 years since that happened. Um, and I'm at a place in my life where I can honestly talk about the things that I went through, almost, not feeling them again, and not reliving them again. It's not that intense, um, it's easier to talk about because I can look at it through like a clean window and see where I was and what I was dealing with at that time. So like at that time I was just trying to keep my family together. I had my daughter when I was 19 years old. I was a waitress. Um
It's funny. Like, we all have that veil. We all have that mask that we wear, especially addicts and alcoholics. Like, the funny thing is, like, you're not your ex husband, but in a way, you shared a trait in the whole ability to hide what was really going on behind the curtain, so that nobody knew who Kelly really was. They knew what you wanted them to see.
yeah. Yeah, that's actually, and I mean, isn't that so, that's even true so far as now, you know? We're n- you're not going to put, how mad do you get when your friend posts a picture of you and they tag you in it, but you didn't see the picture first?
Oh, I get fucking aggravated.
Right.
I want to punch somebody.
Because you don't want that image of you, snarfing your soup, or whatever's happening that you don't want everybody, you want to be able to say, don't post that about me. Like, I don't want people to see that picture of
Yeah.
me. Um, it's kind of like that. I mean, like, at least that's how I feel about it, is that you're going to put forward to the public the face that the normal face, the nothing to see here looking face, oh, what a nice selfie face, not really realizing that behind that big smile they have in that selfie, they're getting their ass beat at home. They're snorting coke, they're drinking until they're blackout drunk. They still show up to work, they still do their job. They do what they can for their children. And I think that's the biggest driving force other than my own health. Um, my biggest driving force is being uh, there for my daughter. She deserves to have a sober mother.
Well, like, I mean, like, in the early days of the podcast when we first met, like, you talked about how, like, you know, getting sober was for your daughter because, like, you felt like you weren't giving her enough.
I wasn't.
Which is a huge thing to decide. It's a huge thing to realize. Like, I'm always talking about self-awareness. Like, none of this happens without self-awareness. Like, the biggest thing we learn when we get sober or get clean is that we aren't the person that we thought we are. Like, hey, I'm not a bad person. I'm a sick person.
Yeah.
You know, I made bad decisions. I treated people like crap. And then you find the motivations of why you do things, and that's how you stop the process. So, like, how did you become self-aware? Bless you. How did you become self-aware enough? Like, what did it take for you to realize that the things that you were doing, other than harming yourself, were harming other people? Because that's
Um,
that's where it's really at.
y- there are so many things that I regret that happened, during the final relationship with fat dipshit.
We
Um,
almost made it. Saying dipshit,
he's always gonna be dipshit.
motherfucker.
Um, but,
Hey, you know who you are. You still suck.
oh, yeah, if you're watching, you suck. Um,
Fuck.
I'm not allowed to stalk or harass him, so
Oh, jeez. Keep going.
Anyway, what really knocked some sense into me was him knocking some sense into me. That's what really was the driving force. There's a ton of things that I regret concerning my behaviors toward my daughter, in my lack of behaviors toward my daughter because I was too high to give a shit because I was chasing after that pill and not paying attention to what she needed, to what to the things that she was going through in, like, the most difficult time in your life when you're a teenager. Know shit about shit, and you're just trying to figure everything out. You don't know your own body. You don't know your own thoughts anymore. School is harder. Kids are fucking mean, like, and I wasn't there for her. That's hard. That's hard.
Okay.
Um, but,
S so, like, how does that make you feel? Looking back, the first, I guess, first 17 years of her life and the last 2. The
so
difference, like, the change.
it's actually, you're gonna not like this very but 20 years.
Sorry, 20
She's gonna be
years.
23 in March.
That's right, 23. Holy shit, I'm old.
Um,
Why would I
20
hate you for correcting me? I mean,
'cause she's old.
whoa, 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 back up, mother.
She's an
I'm
older
gonna be
child.
52.
Old
That's
she
old.
when everything happened with my dad these past couple weeks, she was included in the message thread because she's an adult.
Okay, so
But,
let the record reflect that the dates and times were changed to be correct, Your Honor.
anyway, what were we even talking about?
The transition, like
The
what
transition.
it was like, the difference in how it made you feel to like look back and see where you were and make the transition and then transition into who you are as a parent now. Like explain that whole process.
So,
Feelings,
the
motivations.
the main thing was gaining my daughter's trust again. I know she didn't trust me, and she when Kenny died, what did you all do? You
Cry.
all panicked. No, you all like, others than that, but you all panicked. You all put me on watch. Everybody was like, 50-50 chance, 60-40 chance, she's gonna relapse, she's gonna relapse. Everybody and you all waited to see until I was good, you
And I
know?
barely knew you at that point. Like we
Mhm.
had not been friends for very long, like since March,
Yeah.
like three
Really, March
months.
February, March, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Because we did the first episode in March.
mhm. Yeah, but we started,
You remember
everything in
doing that? You remember
January.
doing it at that fucking table in my apartment, like fucking not knowing what we were doing. I'm gonna okay, yeah, we're playing that episode this
Oh
week. We're
my
going back and
god.
playing episode 1.
Of us bitching about all the wires.
Oh
The
god,
videos on how to set everything up. John Boy setting doing videos for you so that you knew what wires went where.
motherfucker! I still go to this video somewhere.
Oh my god. Anyway, it just, it's hard because, this is something I'm very ashamed about. Nobody except my immediate household knew what was going on. Like, my mom didn't know, my best friend didn't know. She knew something was wrong, but she didn't know, you know? He cut me off from everybody, so the drug addiction was my own. It wasn't shared by everybody, but my daughter was there because there
Yeah,
wasn't anywhere else for her to go.
yeah.
There are a million things that I regret, but now, if she calls me at 11:30 at night, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna answer the phone. If I'm not gonna be, like, so strung out that I'm too tired to deal with her, you know, um 'cause she's a lot. I mean, you know me, I'm a lot, she's a lot.
There's a whole lot of crazy DNA in that family,
I have to tell you though,
right, Ron? He's over there like fuck yeah, and I got to go outside because she's gonna kill me.
no, I'm not gonna kill him, but I should let you know as well, I stopped taking all my meds back in March.
Good for you. How's that make you feel?
I'd read some, studies and whatnot on ADHD,
Hmm.
um, and one of the really big things that I found was that women in my age group, specifically currently, um, were often misdiagnosed. bipolar instead of ADHD
Yeah.
because ADHD was a boy's
Well, I think
problem.
we've talked about that sometimes, like, back in the day, like, were your meds, like, part of the reason you were feeling weird?
Yeah, because
Because it has you on some super strong shit.
I was on 19 different pills. 19. Bipolar, anxiety, PTSD, major depression. So I stopped taking everything, and I found a new psychiatrist, and I went to that psychiatrist and I said, "This is me, blank slate crazy. Tell me what's wrong with
Yeah,
me." And they tested me, they gave me all the different tests you're supposed to do, and we talked, and finally my doctor's like, "Oh, you're definitely ADHD, crazy. Definitely ADHD, definitely anxiety, definitely PTSD, maybe some minor depression."
yeah.
But once I stopped taking those pills, I
Do they have you taking anything now?
yeah, so,
You don't have to tell me what, but they have some you're taking some stuff,
yeah,
but
so
not the hardcore,
no
mental health meds.
amphetamines, no amphetamines either.
Good for you.
ADHD usually is treated with amphetamines because it's supposed to have the opposite effect on somebody with ADHD. Like this one over here is very, very ADHD. Um, when he takes an amphetamine, instead of speeding him up, it's slowing him down because his brain's already going a million miles an
Yeah,
hour. So it's literally like throwing something on the tracks of this train so that it could split off and have different thoughts. My kind of ADHD is different. Um, in so much as I have too many tabs open and I just need to chill the fuck out.
yeah. Lack of focus on what
Yes.
and that does that throw you into, like, manic?
No, no, you don't have I don't have manic episodes
I mean, but,
anymore.
like, when you have all those quote unquote "tabs open," do you get manic at times? Like, is that one of the things you deal with?
Yes, yeah, when I don't take my medicine, now it's way more noticeable. I'm on it's you can't get addicted to it. It doesn't get you high or anything. It's not one of those things. It starts with an A and I can't remember what it is, but I take that and it's kind of like a Valium instead of an amphetamine.
Yeah.
So instead, it makes me slow down, be able to breathe, and focus on the different tasks that I need to complete. My house is cleaner.
Well, when we get done, I'll go out and see if you cleaned out your car.
My car's not clean, but it's not bad. It's not bad right now.
Because I remember the one time I rode in her car, Ron, I swear to God, I thought she was a homeless person moving. It was like, it's shit everywhere.
Well, I've been having
18,000 monster cans in there.
there's still
We might have to put Ron on the spot here.
it's a constant problem with my car.
Ron, why don't you bring your chair in here and jump in here?
Oh, Ron wants to come in.
Slide
You
over.
guys get to see my
Slide.
man, my sweet man.
This is a great thing about doing a podcast in your own house. You can invite whoever the fuck you want. Just make sure you're on the camera there, sunshine. If I have to move it, I'll move. Oh, which camera are we on? We're on that one, that one, that one, that one,
Go.
that one, that one. Okay, we'll go to this one. There we go. Hey, say hi, Ron.
Hi.
Ron doesn't have a last name. He's Mrs. Kelly.
Yeah, fair. He keeps saying
Together, we're R. Kelly.
R. Kelly. Yeah, that's our gamer tag. R. Kelly.
Because I'm Ron and she's Kelly. Together, we're R. Kelly. It's awesome. I wanted to be a pirate and I wanted her to just dress in yellow.
to myself? So, well, now that you're here, introduce yourself. Say whatever you want to say.
So, yeah, my name's Ron. I do have extreme ADHD. It really sucks when I don't have my medication. Right now, I am unmedicated. It's not fun. I do have amphetamines that they give me. It's not the same as meth. Don't get that stupid idea. Don't try to use it as a way because it's not a good idea. Okay.
It's a good way to get your heart
But
exploded.
yeah, so basically the neurons in my brain just fire at an astronomical rate. So whenever I was younger, the way that I dealt with them was ecstasy, acid, and coke, and that was my usual cocktail. I was really bad for a long time. I went California clean for a very, very long time. I got married. I was married for 20 years. Um, yeah, I had to get out of that the toxicity that was there. Because I found that even though I was smoking pot and I was calling myself California clean, if you're using that as a crutch and you're saying that you're California clean, if you're not using that as a way to deal with your anxiety, your depression, whatnot, then you're now using it to hide from the world, which is what I was doing.
Yeah. Well,
Sorry.
so you're doing well though.
Yeah.
Unmedicated. Why unmedicated right now?
I don't have insurance.
Is it?
This country fucking blows.
Unfortunately, was a salaried employee that didn't have health benefits.
Really?
But I don't have a job. I can't afford my.
Oh yeah, because Cobra is fucking
Pays,
insane.
You know,
Cobra's insane. It's like $1,000 a month.
Yeah, super
you know.
helpful. Super helpful.
So let me ask you this: how do you manage the moments when shit starts to hit the fan mentally, when everything starts firing all over the fucking place, and you don't have anything to calm you down?
It's really difficult. I still find myself just kind of dropping off of the face of the earth. And you find yourself in thought and self-reflection. But
That's a dangerous place to be sometimes.
It is, but during
I can tell though.
I separated with my wife. We separated for about 1.5 years. I was told that I needed to get my mental health right, that I was narcissistic. Well, it turned out that not narcissistic, at least not in the negative ways. But I do suffer from, depression, anxiety, et cetera, et cetera. So I got my mental health right. So basically getting through it was realizing that I had to care, love, respect, and, all this stuff for myself in order to give it to other people.
Do you think that when you were going through the rough times that it just comes up every time I talk to people, the self-awareness thing, like I'm serious, like that is the ground level foundation for any kind of recovery.
100%.
Because if we don't know, it's not just what we do. It's why we do the things we do. Because we can sit there and go, I don't like this about myself. I don't like this about myself. I don't like this about myself. But if you don't know why you're doing it, you're just going to repeat that process. You may be good for a month, 2 months, 10 years, but it's going to come back to bite you in the ass at some point because we've never addressed the underlying reasons. That's why I think, like you, taking care of your mental health, seeing a therapist, doing whatever you have to do outside of just talking to friends, because like you and I can have a conversation and it's going to be on our level. But sometimes you need that person that goes, well, think about this, or think about this, or maybe you should try this. So do you do any therapies like when you have insurance?
Yeah. I mean, I went to therapy, really good therapist. She was very nice. She's very helpful in helping me realize there was a way from. I had to forgive myself.
That's
That was
probably the
the
hardest
hardest
thing to
thing.
do. That's the hardest thing to do.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been sober 30 months and I still have days where I can't believe the things that I've done and how people still give a shit about me. Like that's the one thing, like in AA and NA, there's always talking about making amends, right?
Yeah.
But the one person we always forget to make amends to is ourselves.
Ourselves.
We hold ourselves to a level when we get sober that is so unattainable because we feel that we have to make up for what we did wrong. And here's the thing, there's no expiration date on our stupidity.
Right.
Like that shit doesn't go away, but we find ways to live with it, not without it, right?
Yeah.
So do you find that a lot of this stuff comes back, like the things that you had trouble forgiving yourself for?
I mean, yeah, for sure. See, I am from an area outside of Pittsburgh that most people are like, it's the South Hills. I'm from Bethel Park.
Okay.
Between 2002 and 2004, Bethel Park was the #1 highest heroin traffic area in the East Coast.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was really, really bad.
He had a lot of people. He lost a lot of people to
I lost, my best friend, with a needle. I never got into I don't like needles, but I mean, I was still doing, but it's nonetheless, I was married. I got married in 2003. Whenever my ex got pregnant, honestly, she saved me as far as that went, even though it was entrapment.
Let's just throw it out there, folks.
Yeah, just saying.
Welcome to Steel City Roundtable, where nothing is off limits. Okay, I'm not giving my phone number or my address. I don't want any hate mail. Just put it on my DMs like everybody else does.
You know, but I did. I lost. You know, they did their first ecstasy. Did, you know, so all of those people, I always felt somewhat responsible because I was the older one. I was the one that was supposed to be protecting the younger generations. And whenever they came out and they were like, hey, ecstasy can alter your DNA, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to stop doing that. I looked at the bigger picture. Nobody else around me wanted to look at that. And everybody graduated to heroin and started dropping like flies.
See, I've never lost anybody that I know from heroin because all the people I hung out with were coke, marijuana, acid, like mind altering shit, right?
Yeah.
But the mind altering shit that as long as you didn't get a bad dose, you had a good time. And it didn't put you. Now, granted, some of my friends snorted ketamine, not the therapy, not microdosing, but snorting the shit. And you'd see them in the K hole laying in the fucking
That's what I was
couch.
gonna say. They
And
wanted to
then,
get into K
dude,
hole.
GHB was big in like the late 90s, early 2000s. And I remember going to Metropole with one of my buddies on GHB, and he just melted into the fucking couch for like 4 hours. But that shit was so bad. Like nobody understood that GHB, date rape drug, pretty much.
Roofies.
You can't compound dosages. So like if you did a capful of GHB, if you did another one, it compounded the effect astronomically. So like people would die, and you had to order this shit from Europe because you couldn't get it in the States. Like these guys would order these 32-ounce bottles of this shit and be like, give this a shot. I'm like, fuck no. I saw you piss yourself on the couch the other day. I'm not touching that shit. You know, sitting there like, no, thank
like
you.
fun. It's not fun.
It's
No,
not fun.
but this is, folks, this is real life. This is what people do. This is what humans do to fucking deal with problems that they have that they don't understand. You know, when you have poor mental health and you don't know it, when you have some type of like self-esteem issue and you don't know it, when you have some type of abandonment issue and you don't know it, like we're going to dive into something that takes the pain away. And the problem with that is we're going to continue to dive deeper and deeper and deeper as the need becomes more and more and more. Like another thing we always talk about is cognitive behavioral therapy, right? You know, we learn behavioral patterns over time from when we're a child where everything is through our senses to adults. You know, for example, you get in a fight with your ex-wife, right? What's the first thing that happens? Maybe angry, upset. You know, you start to have all these emotions. So the first time you argue with your ex, it's this. The second time you argue, it's this. By the 10th and 12th time, you automatically have assigned this emotional reaction to this input. And then the next step is we have a behavior that's attached to that emotion. So for me, it was drinking. For you, it might have been, you know, smoking weed. For her, it might have been pills. But the thing is, the thing that we all have in common, and tell me if I'm wrong, is that we all realized that there was something that quieted the noise and took away the pain.
Yeah.
And then we dove into it. And then that just becomes your programming. Like this computer, it's got a program. Our programming was get upset, get depressed, get angry, use. You know, you don't have to answer this question, but have either of you ever gotten to the point where you actually thought about self-harm? Good for you.
Yeah, and I mean, and I'm gonna say yeah, but my driving point to not was I could never be selfish enough to do that to my kids.
Which is
I have 3 boys,
commendable.
and they're adults now, but there's no way I could do it to them. I couldn't.
That's commendable. I mean, because like I'm not gonna lie, 2023, I was gonna put a bullet in my head, you know, and I passed out. I got lucky. You know, it's really sad how far we will let this go out of control, how comfortable we will become being uncomfortable.
But it's just like I never got to. I wasn't on drugs when I did try to hurt myself, and I don't think that the way that I hurt myself really constitutes an
Self-harm is self-harm.
Okay, so I
It's pretty clear cut.
I definitely did self-harm. I would take see the scar on my ankle?
Yeah.
I'd take safety pins to my skin and I would just
Yeah, that's self-harm.
yeah, but I never try to kill myself. It
No,
was
but
never a purpose.
self-harm is self-harm. It doesn't have to go to the level of killing yourself.
I thought
It's an expression of an internal.
I thought you were talking about, like, actually, like
Here, we're gonna break it. This is Mark's definition of self-harm. It's taking an internal struggle and making it an external thing.
okay.
So whether it's cutting, scratching, whatever. I never self-harmed.
As I sit here picking my fingers,
I never self-harmed, but I wanted to kill myself.
anxiety thing.
Like I never self-harmed, but I wanted to kill myself. You know?
I would take safety pins to
Okay.
my skin.
Did it make you feel better?
At the time, I thought so.
Yeah.
At the time, I did.
It's how diluted we
But
get.
I mean, like, I've got like you got all these.
That's not self-harm.
It's a different type of pain. It's acceptable pain. It's acceptable mutilation.
Okay. I'll agree.
That is
This doesn't happen often, but I'll agree.
yes. Somebody mark this day on a calendar.
Let's not.
While it's not considered self-harm, it is a form of mutilating myself.
Yes.
Changing my appearance, changing something about myself that I don't like. One of the things I don't like, my family has big ears. I hate my ears. I hate everything about them. There's
Here's a statement. You don't like your ears, so let's put more shit in it so everybody stares at them.
yeah, I mean, I feel like I feel like I decorated them, right? So, but like the same
Hey,
thing
Ron,
with
slide in a little
tattoo-
bit so you can stay on the camera here. I want to make sure you're in here so
but,
people
like,
can see your face.
it's
Thanks,
like
brother.
the same thing like tattoos.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hate needles.
yeah, I
Absolutely hate
too.
needles.
My mom said,
Don't inject me with anything.
I'll never forget this. My mother actually said to me, when I admitted to her how deeply I was addicted to painkillers, um, she said, "Well, I know I don't have to worry about you shooting up because I know you're afraid of needles." I'll never forget her saying that.
I mean, I guess that's logical, but how many people do you know hate needles and shoot up?
I
I
don't.
mean, I don't think anybody I know loves needles.
I
The people that I met during during my career with the police department when I would go to these overdoses, like you would ask them, like, dude, why do you? They're why? And they're like, I hate needles, but I need this.
yeah, it's we
Excuse
talked
me.
about this before too. Um, getting to your normal because before the drugs, before you take you when you are in active drug addiction, before you take the drugs, you're sick. It doesn't matter what drug it is. There's something in you that's saying, smoke that bowl, take that pill, drink that drink, shoot that shot, do your thing, snort that line. Like it's something in your brain is telling you, do those things because it's going to make you feel better.
There's that behavioral pattern that we grow into after doing something over and over and over again and realizing that it works, quote unquote.
Yeah, I'm so sick. I'm so sick. I know it'll make you feel better.
That's the way I was. Like, I would come home from work, I would stop at the Sheets in Springdale, get 2 Bud Platinum 8% malt liquor pounders and chug those on the way home. And then that was just to get me primed to start drinking. And then as soon as I got home, I would crack into the half gallon. And if I had an hour, I'd chug it in an hour. Like I knew that I had to drink that half gallon. Like that was my reset point. Once I got that half gallon in me, everything was okay. But like even when I was drinking it, like I was chugging because I had to get it in my system, and I didn't get drunk off of a fifth. I didn't get drunk off of, I needed a half gallon to get to that point where I had that normal, that baseline again,
Just the baseline.
just
and
for those couple hours.
to get over that hump is nowhere near what a normal person would need to get over that hump.
Fuck no.
Up till 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, my dad was drinking about a gallon of wild turkey every 2 to 3
Yeah, I was
days.
about to say, he was drinking a gallon, not a half. He was
Yeah.
drinking a gallon.
Yeah, I mean that's and it functioned.
No, it was to the point where he was not functioning.
Okay.
So he was in the ICU all last week.
Yeah, so I overheard you when you were talking to my wife.
Yeah, I was talking to gorgeous downstairs.
Yeah.
But yeah, they thought he had a stroke. It wasn't a stroke. They thought he had Parkinson's. They diagnosed him with early onset dementia and Parkinson's.
Well, we all know how accurate the big pharma is these days.
Fair.
We know how accurate they are. Like you can't take things that help because they're not FDA approved,
Well, I'll tell you,
because they don't get their money.
the Parkinson's medication that they put him on actually made him so intensely ill that the ICU doctor was like, "Don't ever take this again. Don't ever take this again." It's supposed to stop him from shaking, and it did, but it literally started shutting his organs
Well,
down.
when you look at these things and its side effects, rectal bleeding, dementia, you may die. Like the
I
lit,
think you're gonna have
like
to take
in
a
a
second to take that on your
in a
house.
1 minute commercial for a medication, 45 seconds of it is a guy running through the fucking side effects, possible side effects at the end.
Yeah.
You know,
My
and
parents.
of course you've got the politically correct. You know, you've got one of these, one of that, he, she, it, them. You know, you got all these different people in there because every commercial has to be politically correct now. But then it is all about like real quick at the end, and the things you might suffer from. It's like 37 things, and one of them is death.
Yep.
Right.
On almost every major medication, it's like if you have problems breathing, seek medical care immediately.
You're allergic
Yeah,
to
No
the
fucking
medication.
shit. If I stop breathing,
Oh,
watch out for the signs. If I stop breathing, that's it. I'm gonna die. Like it's too late to fucking make a phone
Right?
call. You know what I mean?
I don't know. That's my favorite, and I use favorite loosely, is I take this medication to help with your depression, but if it makes you want to kill yourself, don't take it anymore.
Yeah, right.
So
One of their primary complaints is depression.
I mean, I still take my meds because they work.
Yeah.
You know,
Me too.
and you know, I found out that like I take what do I take? I take what the fuck? It's not Zoloft. What's the other one?
There's lots of them.
I take Prozac.
Oh no, never mind. My shit's weak compared to that. Like that makes you go. Duh. My shit's like
Mine
know.
makes me act normal.
I take 2 meds, and I was taking them at night before I went to bed. For 2 years, I took them at night,
I'm
and
not-
I was always tired. I was always tired. And one night, okay, guys, listen. If your wife says something, argue for a little bit, like a couple months, and then do what she says because she's probably right. So she's like, "Why don't you take your meds when you get up?" Immediately had more energy. They were making me sleep so soundly at night that I couldn't get out of that deep sleep, and I would wake up fucking tired. But other than that, like, you know, being sober and taking care of the mental health aspect, like, I think I could probably get off the meds, but why chance it? You know, the system I use works.
Right. Well, I'm down to 3. I'm
for you.
allowed. I take the AXA whatever.
Axolotl doodle.
Axolotl. It sounds like a weird dog. That's the one for my ADHD, and then I take Latuda for
Latuda.
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 Yeah.
Sounds like when a girl farts. Latuda.
Latuda. Not me.
I like that.
I sound like a damn bullhorn when I fart. I fart like a straight dude. Meat farts all day long.
Like a straight dude, though.
Straight dude, yeah.
We're going to let that go.
Anyway,
I don't even want to think about that.
Latuda for the depression, and then I take Prazosin for the nightmares from the PTSD.
Yeah.
But I only take 1 milligram. I was taking 10. They couldn't up it anymore.
And you're on Xanax for what?
I was on Xanax for years, but I'm not
Yeah.
anymore. Now they have me on hydroxyzine.
Well, because I remember when we were filming together, they were medicating you on shit that you were hooked on. Tell me how that made sense. Tell me how that makes sense.
They didn't. It didn't make any sense. But like the thought of not taking that Xanax at night would give me so much anxiety I wouldn't be able to sleep. It was awful. But the thing that he did let me keep taking after he made fun of me. Okay, so like my psychiatrist is rad. He's super funny. He's young. And
Yeah.
he keeps telling me that I'm cured based upon my medical intake. So like taking my medicine on time
Yeah.
every day has brought me to a normal societal level, which means that I am cured until I stop taking my meds or they stop working. And I kind of like that. I kind of like him saying that I'm cured, that I'm not walking around every day with mental illness.
Yeah.
But I told him, I said, I take hydroxyzine for panic attacks. He was like, "Pfft, could take that if you want to." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." He's like, "Do you know what hydroxyzine is?" And I was like, "Something that stops my panic attacks that I can't get addicted to." He's like, "It's Benadryl." That's what it is. Just so you know, y'all, hydroxyzine's Benadryl. That's why you get tired when you take it. It is literally an antihistamine. So I do
Wow.
take hydroxyzine, but it's It just literally just
I take one of the oldest anxiety meds in the world, Visceral.
okay.
Mm.
It's one of the oldest. It's been around since like the 50s, and I take it once a day, sometimes twice a day if I'm having a weird day. But it's like the thing about the meds that I think people get scared of is they're worried about the mind altering aspect of it. They're worried about being tired or not being lucid or not being able to think properly. And that's where you got to do the research. You got to check out the meds. You got to talk to doctors. You got to find out what's going to be the best combination for what you're dealing with. Like me driving a truck, I have to be alert. So I can't take anything that makes me tired.
Right.
And I think that's the big thing is a lot of people are afraid to take meds because one, they think they're being categorized. Like now you're sick. You have to take a med.
I
And
absolutely
that's not what it is.
I cannot take anything that's
It's
gonna
it's
make
like
me
taking a
tired.
dietary supplement. It's something that helps you maintain your normal.
Yeah, I can't take anything during the day that's gonna make me tired. I have to be on my A game with this job. I can't. There's too many working parts
Yeah.
to my job for me to be able, and I'm not going to talk about where I work or anything like that. I don't know if you've already talked about.
Nope. Nope.
Yeah, I don't want to put that out there
I
because
don't put people's business out
Well,
there.
I don't, well, I'm just the only reason I'm not saying anything is because dipshit.
Yeah. So let's do this. Let's go to this part of the whole thing. So when you decided to take time off is right after you met Ron. So tell me how that's grown. The two of you.
Made everything easier, made everything better.
He was trained to say that.
No,
No, honestly,
Let me-
You see how he's not making eye contact right now?
all right. Let me tell you, when I tell you that this dude is the sweetest dude to me, he is literally the sweetest dude to me. He cooks, he cleans, he does laundry, like which is all like a woman's dream. But like on top of that, um, every time he talks to me, every time he answers the phone, he says, "Hey, pretty girl." Every single time. That's his nickname for me is pretty girl. And I think that is
probably wants a pocket.
probably wants a cracker,
Pocket.
a pocket.
It's your Polly Pocket.
I'm Polly Pocket. That's new. I haven't heard the Polly Pocket one. But like me and him talk, and that's different than anything else than I've ever experienced when we're really upset with each other.
Talking like adults and actually
Yeah.
being able to like
Talking
have an actual conversation.
talking with someone instead of at them.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Active listening and paying attention and
and
Changing
actually like
behaviors.
changing behavior.
yeah, I'm trying to learn how to do that.
It's a hard thing.
I mean, before you guys got here, my wife wanted to stab me in the fucking neck. Because I worked last night and I didn't go to bed. Like I got home, I went to the gym after work. I got home, I started hanging drapes and then I went outside and cut the grass. So I got up yesterday at like 5 o'clock PM and I didn't go to bed till like 1:30 and I slept for like 2 hours. I mean, I still am. Like, you remember how I rolled before, like no sleep right into the podcast.
Let
Like,
me tell you, you're way more chill now.
I mean, life is like
That
we got,
married life got him chilled out.
trust me, I'm shipping her back to Mexico if she calls me another name.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
no,
He would have already
but-
done that. No,
yeah.
we like her.
Honey, I love you. No,
Yeah,
it's, marriage is great, but I think the biggest thing other than me being self-aware and knowing some of the things that I got to fix and learning more and more about myself every day, it's being in a healthy adult relationship where communication is number one. Like, I never think we're going to break up or if we fight. Like, that's the first time in my life I've had a relationship where I didn't think every fight could end the relationship. And I
Yeah.
think that's a big part of being happier
Yeah.
is knowing that you're in a relationship. Everything else has been a business arrangement.
Fair.
Marriage is a business arrangement,
It is.
but having a relationship with someone where they actually know who you are is so much different.
Well, I mean, the other thing is like the talking part of it. We're not always perfect about it. There are things
We
that
do not agree.
we do not
About-
agree.
I'd say it's 50-50 on things that we agree upon, to be
Yeah.
honest with you.
Yeah.
Okay, and
But it
honestly, if
doesn't
it's
matter. I mean, it's
if it's something he really likes, he doesn't stop trying to get me interested
Yeah.
in it. Same with me. But there are just certain things that I like that he is just like absolutely effing not. And there's certain things that he likes that I'm like, that is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like
sorry. I don't want to listen to Alanis Morissette.
I'm sorry, I don't wanna listen to fucking electronica. Never
I
dropped
mean,
acid, never dropped fucking
hey,
ecstasy, don't want either one of
it's
those.
trap music.
He puts on trap
It's bass
electronica.
lines without the stupid people and the
I'm with him. I listen to one of my favorite mixes is the upbeat mix on Spotify. It's all like house music
yeah.
because you get in that groove with the beat. Like when you're working at the gym, I get in this like mentality where I get in this groove where it's just like it kind of takes over.
Drops. I love it.
It takes
Bass
over.
drops. I
I
love them.
I
Can't
like
help
I
it.
like the trap. I like a lot of trap music. I like a lot of the heavy bass. I just don't like the electronica they put in it. I don't like the bloop 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 stupid shit that they put in the middle of it. There has no business there.
Without those,
Without those, it would be just heavy bass, and I enjoy that. That's why we don't agree.
See, my favorite band right now is Sleep Token.
Sleep Token's great.
They're insane. They had like the best album of the year.
Yeah, Sleep Token.
They're insanely good.
Me and her,
Please.
we just went with my
Yeah.
and Ghost was
Rad.
so good.
It was so
Yeah.
good. Where else did we go? What was the other one?
We saw Judas Priest.
Judas Priest
Yeah.
and Alice Cooper.
That was cool.
So good. So good. That dude is old as fuck, and he could just scream.
Yeah.
it
He's
out.
outliving Ozzy,
I'm
which
sad.
is yeah. Well, I mean, he was old.
You know what his final words were?
I'm dying. Help. Dead.
Fuck you, Sharon.
So
Tragic ending. Got hit by a train. Crazy
Or saying
story.
something about a fucking cat.
No, he was a god. He was one of the greatest.
once
And
again,
literally 5 minutes after it happened, they were like, "Did you hear Ozzy died?" And I said, "He got hit by a train. I heard."
Yeah.
And they said, "No, he didn't." I said, "Yeah, it was a
crazy train.
train accident." And
What'd
I
I
was
say?
like,
Too soon.
"Ozzy, you," because I know that you are out there going, "Right on, thank you. I'm so glad that nobody waited." You know?
Oh boy. Okay. This is the way things go. It always goes off track
Yeah, it
somewhere.
goes
It
off
always goes
track.
off the rails somewhere. So, you guys have been together for
A year.
a year. What's life like for you now? Like being sober and being in a healthy relationship. Like just tell us what how's Kelly now?
Better. These past this is a bad time to like, y'all, my mom broke the fuck out of her arm. Broke the fuck. Let me
You started it out like that.
listen. My mom knew I was coming to see her on a Sunday, right? Call my mom Sunday morning. I call my mother Sunday morning. I'll be there around 1, Mom. Okay, no problem. No indication anything's wrong. I come over her house and her left arm isn't even in the sleeve. It's just hanging down like it's purple. Her hand is purple. I was like, so I say hi to my dad and I turned to say hi to my mom and I didn't even say hi. I said, the hell's wrong with your arm? I tripped over the cat. My mother tripped over the cat named Potato, tripped over Potato, who is like a furry ottoman in the dark, and rammed her arm, this part of her arm, into the door jamb and fractured it. And had done it the night before. Didn't tell me anything until 1 o'clock the next day. You want to talk about stubborn? So I take her to the hospital and her arm is broke, right? They say follow up with the ortho. So she follows up with the ortho and makes the surgical, they call her back and say this is surgery, called this ortho. She calls the orthopedic surgeon. They schedule it for the next Wednesday. So that was like a Thursday. So the next Wednesday was her surgery. Come Monday, she had to do her pre-surgical blood work. Make sure she's good, no drugs in her
Yeah.
system, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, make sure she's not going to bleed out on the table.
And they call her back in 2 hours and they say, you have to come to the emergency room right now and get admitted into the hospital. And she's like, what? They said her sodium levels were so low, if she would have went to sleep, she would have gone into a coma and died. And this is the second time she's had low sodium. The first time was when she passed out and put her face through the table. She had 13 staples in her head. If the alarm hadn't been going off in the house, my mother would have bled to death on the carpet. Sodium levels dropped. Anyway, she breaks the hell out of her arm, which puts me in charge of all the household stuff because my dad's sick, right? My dad's been infirm for a while. And then a week and a half ago, my dad takes a turn. He was gray. They told us to prepare him for hospice. He was so sick. He was septic. Septic. They gave him 5 blood transfusions because he has internal bleeding somewhere.
Okay, with the exception of your parents dying, apparently, how are you?
I'm just overwhelmed right now with work, hurting my ankle, my parents, I having to take care of them. He's taking care of them. You know, we're
I'm doing great.
we're
Yeah.
I we are doing well, but he's putting up with a lot from me.
Yeah, and you don't use.
And I don't use no. I did it I'm not gonna lie. I did admit at NA today that that I've been struggling a lot with that over the past couple weeks.
Which is normal. I mean,
It is
especially when you're under that high level of stress.
it's
Bless you.
God, why? Why did you say that? Right now it's gonna just sit there.
I hear my dog out there whining.
Yeah. But I find it really shameful that, and I know I shouldn't be because I should be celebrating where I'm at instead of worrying about where I'm not or what I might do. I should be focusing on the present and what I need to do to stay sober in this moment.
Hmm.
And I'm not focusing on that. I'm focusing on how stressed out I am, how stressed out we are, you know, how I'm going to do the things that I need to do for my family. You know, I didn't get to see my dad the past 2 days, and my mom kind of made me feel a little shitty about it, but I've been there every single other day.
I mean, the only way we deal with what we're dealing with is to take a little step at a time, deal with one problem at a time. We can't deal with multiple problems because that's what caused us to drink and use in the first place. Trying to take on too much and trying to fix everything all at once. We can only do one thing at a time.
Oh, I know. It's just,
And always remember, when we can't forget where we were, because where we were got us here, right? So it's okay to think about, this is what I used to do. This is the problems I had, and it's okay to think about it. The difference is, I think now we don't dwell in those moments. They're fleeting thoughts, you know.
so while the thoughts are fleeting, I've had enough of them lately, that I noticed,
Mhm.
before it was always like, wow, I could really, this ankle's really bothering me. I could really, really use a pain pill right
Yeah,
now. They only sent me home with two pain pills.
yeah,
Um, and I didn't take them both right away.
yeah,
I took the one as soon as I got in the car because I was in a tremendous amount of pain.
yeah.
Um, but like the second one I had for a couple days. I don't know how many days.
This is why I say I'm never. This is why I say I'm never going to be recovered. I'm always going to be recovering, because as these moments come up, these situations come up where that programming, that internal dialogue that we have with ourselves, well, I could maybe have one and I'll be fine. And I think the longer we stay sober, the more we forget what we went through and how bad it was. Like, the sting of the things we did kind of like blands over, you know?
Yeah, and then you also have to take into consideration is like that was one thing I was talking to my dad about. Because I told him, I said, you can't drink anymore, right? He was like, that's what they say, and I was like, that's what you should be saying.
Yeah.
Like, do you see where you were at? Do you see where you were at? Um, and my mom was like, and my mom actually like put me in my place, and she was like, um, Kelly, what was your bottom? I was like, getting my ass beat by a straight up grown ass man, like getting my ass whooped. That was my bottom. I was, sober. I
Mhm.
was, but I was still drinking at that time. I was still smoking
Yeah.
weed. I just wasn't taking any pills at that time.
Yeah.
But it literally took some dude putting his hands literally around my neck for me to realize the path that I was on was not the good one, right? She said, "You don't know what your father's bottom is. This might not be it."
Yeah.
I said, "Well, I ain't gonna
I
be."
mean, I've had like 20 of them. So,
I said, "You know what? I'm not buying them any more alcohol." And she said, "Well, that's gonna be the thing. Nobody is.
Yeah.
So either he gets well and drives himself or he quits, but he's been, how many days is it now? 10, see, Thursday, Tuesday, one, two,
No,
one,
so you've
two,
been in it
three,
2 weeks,
15 days or so. He hasn't had a drop of alcohol. He's been in
and he's gonna be
the
in
hospital.
the rehab center for another two and a
Eight,
half weeks.
8 days.
Well, and you'll know what happens when he gets home. Well, I just remember you can't fix him.
No, I can't, but I'm because me and my sister are left picking up the pieces. My brothers are around now. Hi. My brothers are around. Joe's in Westmoreland County, so it's between him working and having to take care of his own family.
Mhm.
Getting here is hard. My brother Chris only lives 5 minutes away from them, but he works too, and he has a family too.
Mm.
I work in Turtle Creek now, so I'm there almost every day, right? And then my sister lives across the street, but she doesn't have a car. She doesn't drive. Like who it really boils down to is me. So that's why I have to think about these things because I'm going to be the one, me and my sister Jamie are going to be the ones picking up the pieces if he picks up the bottle again.
A wise person once said to me, "What are you doing for yourself? Do you take any time for yourself?
I'm still sewing.
Like the me time. You
So
got to have the me time."
I was getting my nails done, but this bitch be broke. So
You know what I'm saying? Though you got to have that time, something that you do just for you, whether it's go to therapy or listen to some music or whatever it is. You got to have something just for you to reset that mental programming, to get back on track and make sure that you're checking the boxes.
yeah, I know.
And our recovery changes. It's evolving. It's fluid. It doesn't stay the same. Like I've had to revamp my process on what I do to stay sober numerous times because certain things I don't need anymore, but then I need to replace them with something else.
Right.
Like the longer I'm in recovery, the more complex my recovery gets
Sure.
because now there's more moving parts because I'm allowing more stress into my life. You know, um, I got some big changes coming up in the near future. Like, I'm taking some risk with my mental health by taking risks in my life, not physical risks, but like, you know what I'm saying?
It's not like jumping out in
Mental
traffic,
risk.
y'all, or anything
It
like
just,
that.
just,
Taking mental risks.
yeah. Like I'm going to a place that's an unknown, and usually that place would lead me to the bottle.
That's how I thought about starting this job in June.
Yeah, but you work for a really great dude.
Oh my God. He's amazing.
Mhm.
He's amazing.
He's been through it.
Let me tell you,
He's been through it on his own.
when I fell down the stairs and hurt my ankle, he happened to show up right after that, right? And he ran to the pharmacy near our office and got me an ace bandage. They brought ice down. He wrapped my foot, and then that man picked me up
Okay,
and
got to the car, and I
carried me
was
to
like,
the
"Thanks a
car.
lot, dude, for setting the damn standard."
Well, hey, avoiding that workman's comp claim.
I'm screaming at him. I'm like, "You just had surgery in May. You put me down right." I'm like screeching in his ear, "You put me down right now!" And he's like, "You just shut up and get a car."
Well, sometimes that's what it takes.
Yeah, but that job is rad, by the way. Like,
Well,
I'm getting better at it.
and you will, and you will. I'm just happy that I'm happy that you're sober. I'm happy that you're dealing with your shit. I'm glad to finally meet Ron. Apparently, he's a big key. So let's do this. We're going to wrap this thing up. We're getting a little over an hour. Ron, anything you'd like to say? Like, I don't know if she ever told you, it's a mental health addiction, help others podcast. So anything you want people to take away from either your story or anything in general?
I mean, mental health awareness is probably, to me, one of the. My ex is very big as far as promoting mental health awareness. It's one thing to promote it. It's another thing to
Cool.
be nice to people.
I like it. I like
Oh,
it.
It's our generation.
Yeah.
Our generation, literally, we are all part of the same generation because we were all raised old school. I get a feeling that the last time you got your ass beat by your parents, you were about 19 too. That's
No,
what I was.
Yeah, I was like 17 the last time my dad laid the wood to me, and I deserved it.
Yeah. I got
Deserved it.
I got told to grab onto the railing in my grandparents' house. My dad took off his Amish made belt and whooped my ass in front of the whole family. And guess what?
Thank
Made
you.
me a better person. Thank you.
Gentle
Yes,
parenting.
yes, yes, yes. Gentle parenting.
Because I believe that there's a line, but I think that what we're doing to kids today is more abusive than what we were doing.
Well, maybe we'll have you back and we can talk about that.
hope so.
You
Cool.
can have a blast talking.
What about you, Turd Nugget?
I just
Guys, listen, you can be at the bottom of the bottom of the bottom of the bottom, and if you can find that little root sticking out of that grave you're digging yourself and pull yourself out, you're gonna feel so much better. Um, Clear-headed decisions are equally as bad as drunken and high decisions in some cases, but at least you know it was you making the bad decision and you know who to blame, you know? When you're all fucked up on something, you don't know who to blame. It is your fault, but you don't know who to blame because if you were that fucked up, would you have made that decision? Do you know what I mean? I don't know, it doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm 2 years, 2 years.
Jason. Well, thank you both for coming and visiting, and it's good to have you back. Folks, at the end of the day, share, help, repeat. Share your stories to help others and do it as much as you can. See you next time.